Alright, so welcome back to my Ayrton Senna Driver Career mode here on F124. Today, we are going to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico. Now, last episode at Singapore, it was quite a rocky start to the weekend. After my first qualifying run, I was only like P13 or something, but then I managed to recover it with a fantastic lap, qualifying on the front row. And then, I had an epic battle with my title rival, Max Verstappen, from almost start to finish, and then I sent it up the inside like I was silly, took P1, and never looked back to take the win. The standings currently look like this. We have a 13-point lead over Max Verstappen in the drivers, and we have a 14-point lead in the constructors over Red Bull Racing. However, going into this weekend, there is one extreme caution that I must tell you about. Take a look at the R&D. At the moment, going into this weekend, we have the fourth fastest car equal with Ferrari and just behind Aston and Mercedes. But take a look at where Red Bull are. They are considerably ahead of not only us, but the rest of the field. So keeping up with that Dutch prick and the Red Bull team is going to be very, very difficult. We need a massive performance from not only me, but also Lando Norris. Let's get to the track, tackle qualifying, and see what we can do. Alright, so here we are in qualifying, and there is actually another massive issue that I completely forgot about, and that is that from now until the end of the season, so I believe we have Mexico, we have Las Vegas, Abu Dhabi, and Brazil, I think are the final races of this season. I have never driven at any of those tracks, including Mexico. I'm brand new to every single one of these circuits. Yeah, we're finished, aren't we? Anyway, let's go for quali hot lap number 1, where we, feel the track out and do some learning. Right, and here we go for my first ever lap around Mexico. I'm actually looking forward to this. I am going to try and take it a bit easy, because I have no idea how much grip I'm going to have. But here we go. I don't know how much overtake to use. I'm just going to go to about probably 55% and see if that's enough to get me to the end of the lap without running out of deploy. Now, going into turn 1, because it's a learning lap, I am going to go on the curbs. Okay, that is a possibility. You can brake on the curbs and have a decent braking. Not a bad exit. It's really not a bad sector 1. Let's compare it to Bottas, though. We are going to be 2 tenths up. That is... I don't know if that's good or not. The early signs are very good, though. This car feels nice. Might have to lower the diff a little bit of oversteer, but apart from that, we're flying. Let's see how it tackles. Hang on. Can I do this all... Oh my, I could do this all flat. Okay. Sector 2, we are now 6 tenths up on Valtteri Bottas's time. Got a bit off track there, but it's alright. Round the final sector, and that is not a bad lap whatsoever. That is going to be a P4, a tenth away from Fernando Alonso. That's really not too bad when you think about it. For everything I've just explained, never driven at this track before. The car is only 5th best on the grid. My first, lap going off track a couple of times. I think that's very, very good and also very, very promising. So let's get back to the garage. You know the drill. Unless you've never watched one of these videos before, then you don't. But we put on some new tyres. We go to the end of quali and we give it the beans. Do you know what I mean? Let's go. So before we start this final flying lap of qualifying, there is some information for you, and that is that Fernando Alonso, as you can see, is no longer in P3 as he went and set the fastest lap. And we are 3.5 tenths behind him, but of course we don't really care about Fernando Alonso's time. We care about Max Verstappen's time. And he's in P2. And that's all that matters. If we beat him, it's a good weekend. Now I am going to find some improvement through the first sector, but it ain't much. But we are going to improve by 20 milliseconds, and it's the fastest sector 1 of anybody. Swinger in here like I'm silly. Now, as we know, we can do all 4 of these corners pretty easily flat out. So let's get that done. Use a little bit of overtake. Now we need to go big through sector 3. Don't go off track this time. I think I did, but not by as much. Now we're going to keep it like that. That's a bit too to the outside, but it's okay. Round the final corner. Lots of wheel spin. Decent exit, though. Hug the wall. And, oh, it's going to be so close. Oh! Okay, you know what? I'm happy with a front row if Max Verstappen isn't on pole. And here we go. What's it going to be? Here we go. Bosh. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. That's pretty bad, but it ain't that bad. We out-qualify our title rival Max Verstappen, but we miss out on pole by 30 milliseconds. And I know where those 30 milliseconds are. Turn 5, I believe, at the end of the second DRS. I braked a bit too late and went a bit wide, so my entry into the next corner was a bit crap. And then just that like third to last corner, the sharp left that goes into the quick right, I was just way too deep. But we take a front row. If we can stay ahead of Verstappen now going into turn 1 on race day and don't do a Sergio Perez, this could be a good weekend for the boys. And here we are on the grid, ready for the Mexican Grand Prix. The strategy is fairly bog standard, just a medium to hard. Let's make sure the fuel is low, and this is a huge, huge race for the boys at McLaren. We win this, we will have a, well, if Verstappen finishes second, which let's be honest, if I'm P1, he'll be P2 and vice versa. We will have a minimum 15 or 16 point lead in the Drivers' Championship with like 4 races remaining. If Max Verstappen wins and I'm P2, he might take the lead. So this is a big race. Let's have it. For the Mexican Grand Prix, the optimal RPM is achieved and we are away. And that is a gorgeous start from Ayrton Senna, and we are away. Max Verstappen, though, gets past Fernando Alonso off the start, gets past me. Do I have the slipstream to go for a move into turn 1? Oh, you absolutely better believe I do. Round the outside of Verstappen. It's what he does in real life. I've done it to him in the game. And Fernando Alonso gets past Verstappen as well. Okay, that is an excellent start. Verstappen got the better start. But I sent it round the outside and we take P1. That is massive. Also, Fernando Alonso being in P2 is also huge, as there is now, of course, 1 car between me and my closest rival. Right, lap number 2. We are still leading, but I think defending is going to be nigh on impossible. I might have to... Okay, I guess I can't finish my speech of just, like, my tactics. Fernando Alonso is straight past me, but I do have the slipstream. He's going to block me a little bit. I'm going to swing it around the outside. I can't really fight with Alonso too much, as I don't want Verstappen to get in the mixture. Overtake Alonso, and then he's right behind me. What I was saying is that defending is going to be really, really difficult around this track. For 2 reasons. One, well, the DRS straight is like 17,000 kilometers long. But also, as we know, this car is nowhere near at the top in terms of performance. So it's like Nico Hülkenberg driving a Haas to P6. That's the level we're talking about if I want to win this race. I'm going to have to try the tactic where I sort of let Alonso by, sort of now. And then I use the DRS down the main straight to get back past. I did it in Spa in My Team Career mode, and it definitely works because the AI aren't fantastically intelligent. But unfortunately, that isn't going to quite work out. DRS is enabled. Fernando Alonso is right behind me, as is Verstappen and Checo and Sainz. Alonso goes by. I just need to try... Hang on. Wait. Hang on a minute here. Wait. I've actually got lots of straight line speed. I can now stick to the inside of Alonso and keep the position. Oh my goodness, okay, my straight line speed is one to be reckoned with. My goodness. Okay, never mind, if I just save ERS throughout the lap and then use it down the main straight, I might be able to just defend. Oh, that is fantastic news. Alright, turns out ERS is actually very difficult to save, so I don't really have any, but I do take the fastest lap. Here comes Alonso again, but I don't have ERS to use. As you can see, I've already ran out. And Alonso is going to go to the inside, so that is going to give me space to brake well. Okay, that was easier than I thought. I thought it was going to be like a tough wheel-to-wheel fight, but no. I just braked that much later. Now, what are we going to do about this? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh my! Max Verstappen, where have you come from, buddy? Title rival, round the outside. I can't be having this. Okay, we managed to hold on to the P1. But now Verstappen is up to P2. Oh no. Verstappen's going for it, and I'm going to do my little tactic of sort of letting him go by and then use the DRS down the main straight to get back past. At least that's what I'm hoping happens. Yeah, that hasn't gone very well. What was that oversteer? Oh no. Okay, so now this has all gone wrong. I've dropped down to P4. Verstappen now leads. This is absolute horror for the Drivers' Championship, and it's even worse for the Constructors as Sergio Perez makes a move for P2. It's an absolute horror show for Foot Crim and Ayrton Senna here in Mexico. My ERS just isn't charging enough. I've had a whole lap with it on medium. I've not used hot lap or overtake once, and it only harvested about 25%. That is horrible. Right, it's become immediately apparent that I just cannot stick with this front three. I've got to have Lewis Hamilton right behind me, and he is so much quicker than me. The top three are way quicker than me. My issue is that my tyres simply don't last long enough. I have to push so much harder to stick with this lot. They don't have to push as hard because their cars are just better. My only chance is to do an undercut / overcut and just hope it works. That is my only chance at getting anywhere near back to P1. If I was still in P1 at this stage, and as you can see, every single corner is just oversteer and understeer, which has been a massive issue for me this year, but that's all I can do. An undercut or overcut. Like, what is... Bro. What do you want me to do about that? I'm cutting the track, I don't care. What do you want me to do about that? Yeah, this race is just tapped because the game's bad. Okay, so Lewis Hamilton's going to get by for free because, well, he's got DRS, so we'll just say goodbye to him. Bye-bye, Hamilton, and yeah, this has gone so horrifically wrong. Not just for the drivers, but the constructors as well. Verstappen's looking to take a 10 to 15 point lead in the drivers, and they're going to be completely gone in the constructors as well. And there's nothing I can do about it. My car is simply horrible. It's like, this is the issue I'm having. I understand the tyres are a bit worn, but it's oversteer or understeer in every single corner. It's not like... if it was just oversteer or just understeer, then that can be helped with setup and, like, you know, just tyre wear. But no, it's both, as you can see there. Oversteer, understeer. It is tragic. I don't even know if I've got DRS with Lewis Hamilton. Every single driver is seconds quicker than me at the moment. That is also something I've noticed throughout F124, is that as soon as your tyres get to about 20% worn, the AI becomes so much considerably faster than you. It's not even funny. And I don't even know if I can get Lewis Hamilton with a second lot of DRS. My exit is going to be so much worse than his. Let's see. Is there anything I can do to get by Hamilton? I see some scrapping going up ahead. It's nothing relevant. I'm a bit too far back to go for a move on Hamilton. I believe Alonso and Perez are scrapping, which is, of course, just, you know, letting Verstappen go off. And we have a yellow flag somewhere that is going to come from behind. I believe it's one of the RB drivers. And we have a red flag. Ew. Now, that does offer some sublime opportunities in this race. Now, we are going to do the hard tyre... oh, wait, rain? You're telling me there's going to be rain as well? Okay, right, so... this is a massive opportunity for me. It means that, yes, I'm starting P5 on this restart. However, if I can have a semi-decent start, I can get up to P3, maybe P2, and then go from there. And, you know, with rain as well, time the pit stop correctly. This race is not over. It's just my pace is horrid. But let's get back to the grid for a second start and see what we can do. And here we go for race start número 2. And we are away, and that is another semi-decent start. But I don't even know what that was. Wheel spin, my car bottomed out. But look at this slipstream I've got, and my straight line speed is mighty. I'm going to go to the outside of Alonso. We are currently 4 wide, late braking into turn 1. Oh my goodness! I have just gone from P5 to P1 off the start as Max Verstappen drops out of the top 5. Oh my god! What has just happened? That is actually incredible gaming. I actually just turned into a Disney princess reacting to that. My goodness, what a time to be alive. Okay, let's lock in. I've been given a second chance from the grace of God. I'm somehow back in P1 in this race when it looks like it was all over. And now I need to hold on to it. And to do so, I need to save ERS. Save it. There is a very high chance I can just leave the ERS completely off throughout the entire lap and then just use it down the main straight. And that might keep me ahead, but let's go. Lap 2 of this restart, DRS gets enabled. Fernando Alonso has the slipstream, but of course no DRS. He's going to go for the move. But I have the inside line, so we should be okay. Brake a little bit later. And I reckon, as soon as we get to this braking point, I can keep my ERS off. Let's try it. I'd say I need about 50% if I want to stay ahead down the main straight with other cars with DRS. And of course, you know, doing like serpentine and stuff like that. Now I'm going to put it back onto medium because obviously this is DRS. Fernando Alonso looking for a move. He's going to go for it. I'm going to block him off though, or gone a bit off track. Apologies for that. But look at that. I have quite easily kept my position, and I now have 67% ERS that I can use down this entire straight. Now Fernando Alonso is going to come close. I'm going to switch it to the outside. DRS is enabled for him, but I've got the overtake on. And as you can see, I have managed to hold on. We go wheel to wheel, brake later than him, swing it round into turn 1 and 2. And that is our method to win this race. Now, of course, the reason I got sent down to P4 and then P5 earlier in the race was because of a really simple mistake that I made near the end of this lap. So if I can just avoid doing that, I should be good. Right, it's now lap number 17. It has been a while, but it's nothing's really happened. This is exactly what's been happening. Fernando Alonso goes for the move. He's actually got like a full car length ahead of me this time. He's not done that yet. But then I just swing around the outside or the inside, whatever needs being done, and I keep the place. And then I keep my ERS off throughout the entire lap for the next lap. And I've just been doing that. A very easy recycling process. And I'll tell you what, my lap times as well have been fairly consistent and pretty fast, despite, you know, doing this strategy of having no ERS the whole lap. Lando Norris is up to P5 in this race. No, he's not. He's down to P6, but he is fighting for P5 at the moment. And I don't really know how he's done that, because he started P10. And, yeah, he's not had the greatest of race pace this season. But, you know, P5 would be a lovely result if he can fight Hamilton for it. And I think he has done. And I think he's got... No, he hasn't. What are they doing back there? Okay, Lando Norris has finally got that place up to P5. Only downside is there is quite a large, you know, queue of cars behind him. It is quite literally him all the way to P20 that is going to be in a DRS train. So he might get double or even triple overtaken. And there is quite a large gap to the next car ahead, being Pierre Gasly in P4. Here comes Alonso again, and he's been so much harder to keep back, because I can't really save as much ERS as I was before. I don't really know why, but I can't. But we are still holding on, as you can see, down the inside. And I don't know what's going on with Verstappen. Well, he's not in P5 or 6. I don't think he's in P7. I don't know where he is. And the rain has started to fall. This race has taken another turn once again. And what a race this is turning out to be, I must say. We had the early beginnings of the race, battling with Alonso and Verstappen. Then we had the moment where I went off and went down to P4. Then it was just me moaning and moaning about how bad the car is. Then we had the red flag, the restart to go from P5 to P1, the battling with Alonso to keep that P1, and now it has started raining. I can already feel the rain starting to have an effect on track. The traction is immediately decreasing. Now, of course, the most important thing is calling the time right of when to go in the pits. At the moment, although it... Whoa! Okay, that was scary. Although it is definitely trickier, It is definitely still dry conditions, as Max Verstappen has got up to P5. He gets ahead of Norris and Hamilton, takes P5. That is, if Norris stayed in P5 at this time, that is a very, very lovely, point advantage we gain in the Constructors. And this car is quickly becoming undrivable. I reckon next lap is when it's going to be ready for inters. It's going to be so difficult to keep Fernando Alonso behind this lap, though, as he is so much closer than before. I'm going to have to use every inch of overtake that I have and just hope that it's enough. And I don't know if it's going to be, you know. I'm going to have to send it like I'm sitting around the outside, but I can't do that because Sergio Perez is on the outside rather, and my car is undrivable. And now Fernando Alonso takes the lead, and he gets that DRS as well. And this is immediately just gone very, very wrong. For some reason, I just have less ERS than I normally would. And I think now we are going to go into the pits and put on these intermediate tyres. The conditions, it is undrivable. And I know the AI are going to be really, really good in this weather, so I want to get on those inters as soon as possible. As you can see, Fernando Alonso is just gone already. Like, he is just, yeah, okay. So it seems like the AI are just really, really good in these weather conditions. I'm taking a gamble. I'm going in now. I feel like I need to. I'm pretty positive it's like going to be the wrong call, but my gut's telling me to do it, so I'm doing it. Right, here we go. Pit exit. My gut said that you should pit now for inters. I think it might have been the wrong call. It still looks dry enough, and I'm not so sure anymore. Hang on. I'm catching these cars at an insane rate. I'm catching this Williams by about a second a sector. Hang on a minute. This could have been the golden call. Oh, no, I'm getting held up by these slow cars. This is ruining me here. Fernando Alonso has stayed out for another lap for some reason. And I need to go. I need to get past these slow cars immediately. There goes Sergio Perez. I am miles ahead of him. This is massive for me. Esteban Ocon, you're gone, son. You just can't compete with me on these inters. I have struck gold. I have timed this call to perfection. I stuck with my gut, and look at the result. I am miles ahead of Checo, who was, you know, in P2, very, very close to me. P3, sorry. And you can see how slow these cars are, but look how much they're holding me up. Move, blood. Every single driver is nearly going off the track because it's so slippery on the trike tyres. Forgot how to speak English there for a second. And we are already up to P6 on the inters. And surely the entire front of the field. I'm about to overtake my teammate who hasn't stopped yet. Surely drivers are going in now. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Fernando Alonso has stayed out another lap, and I can see why. It's because there's only 2 laps left. Oh my goodness. I didn't even realize how many laps were left. Lando Norris is gone. He has more ERS. He has that straight line speed, and this is actually... Right, there's the 2 Brits dispatched. Lando Norris and George Russell. P2, Max Verstappen, 3 seconds up the road. Come on. Oh, this is so easy. They are so slow in these dry, wet conditions. Pierre Gasly has just murdered me. What was that? And here is Max Verstappen. Bye-bye, Sonny. You're gone. And now we have a 6-second gap to race leader Fernando Alonso with 1 and a bit laps remaining. What a finish this could be. Final lap of this race starts. We have a 2.7 second gap to Fernando Alonso for the race win. We are already ahead of Verstappen, so we are guaranteed to gain points on him. But we can gain even more if I can catch up to Alonso. Gap is now 1.3, and he has to drive so slowly in order to not spin in these wet conditions. And here is Fernando Alonso. We're going to go to the inside, and he's gone. We have taken P1 in this race. And now I just need to get to the end without losing the rear and crashing. But this has been, by far, the best race that I have ever done. Performance-wise, it's been pretty average. But what a time to be alive. Like I said, the start, battling with Alonso and Verstappen, moaning as I spun off into P5. The red flag, the restart, going from P5 to P1, the rain arriving, going on an alternate strategy to go onto the inters when everyone else stayed on the dries. And this has been an unreal race. Round the final corner, it is going to be victory for Ayrton Senna. What a time to be alive. My goodness, that is by far the best race that I have ever had in any F1 game. That had quite literally everything you could ever ask for. It had a red flag, it had battles up and down the field, it had wet weather near the end, an alternate strategy in play. And at the end of it all, on the final lap, we overtake Fernando Alonso to take P1. Come on! I think this performance and this race, you deserve to see the podium celebration, do you know what I mean? Fernando Alonso finishes second in this race, Max Verstappen finishes third, which means I don't even know who took fastest lap. It might have been me. If it was, we are going to be gaining 11 points on Max Verstappen. Wow. Now, depending on where Lando Norris finished, we might have actually somehow, like, gained in the constructors as well, which I don't understand how we've done, because, like you saw, we have the 5th fastest car. We shouldn't be winning races. We shouldn't be, like, leading the constructors and gaining points on other teams. But that's exactly what we're doing, because we are the absolute governors. And here is your final finishing order. You already know the top 3, and Lando Norris takes a P5 finish. So we are going to gain in the constructors, I think. Yeah, easily. Fastest lap, unfortunately, goes to Sergio Perez. Really good lap time, a 15.4. The second best being Fernando Alonso, I believe, who is 16 dead. But Perez, running P2 for a while, could have got P1 today. Actually, no, maybe not because of my strategy, but P2 has somehow fell down to P8. Not so sure how that's happened, but the crucial part, the Drivers' Championship is going to look like this. We now lead by almost an entire race full of points. 23 we lead by over Verstappen. Lando Norris moves up to P7. I believe he moves up to P7. I think he went ahead of Perez in this race. And, you know, it's not looking great for him, but he is still only 38 points behind Fernando Alonso. I reckon P4 is so doable for Lando Norris, which would be a good finish to the season for him. He's been stinky for most of it. If he can have a good ending, then that is going to be solid work. And then the constructors, we now lead by 29 points. I think that is an advantage. What did we score? We scored 35. Red Bull scored about 26. So we do gain with a decent handful of points, and that is massive. Well, wow. What a weekend of racing. 4 AM is the hot time to record your videos, ladies and gentlemen, because this was an absolute belter. That's going to be all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Follow all my other socials, my TikTok, my Kick, my Twitch, my Insta, my Twitter, the lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Wow, I'm starstruck.